The peoples of Russia are united by a common history, traditions, values, and a powerful creative principle, the oldest branch of industry. Shipbuilding has its origins in St. Petersburg. In the city on the Neva, there are large design bureaus, modern shipyards, where they develop and produce ships for the needs of the civil fleet and the state defense order, focusing on domestic technologies. Currently, many enterprises are undergoing modernization, and production does not stop. About today's shipbuilding industry of the northern capital, Vladimir Orekov.
Only at the Baltic plant from Chukotka can you see Yakutia. One icebreaker came for a scheduled technical inspection. The other is now being assembled as a designer by shipbuilders of Chukotka already on the water. The icebreaker is now 70% complete. Recently, 2 residential modules were installed on the nuclear ship. Without a structure that was assembled and installed 300 tons, as shipbuilders say, the ship will be able to depart on its first voyage in 2027. Large module assembly significantly speeds up the work of one nuclear ship of the Arctic series. It took 7 years to build. Today we are doing it 2 years faster.
We are completing the stage of forming the order superstructure. That is, accordingly, we are now left with a wheelhouse, a mast, and literally several more sections of the helipad. Everything says that our equipment is loaded. And recently we have been fed from shore, which allows us to carry out the mooring stage of testing.
Soon, like other ships of Syria, Chukotka will go on sea trials in their icebreakers. The factory workers are confident that they will serve and crush ice on the northern sea route for at least 4 decades. Competencies possessed by the enterprise allow not only to build nuclear ships, but also to engage in passenger projects. At the end of October, Vladimir Zhirinovsky arrived in St. Petersburg from Astrakhan. For completion, the 4-deck cruise liner will be used for river transportation and travel on the Caspian, Black, Azov and Mediterranean seas. The base of the Northern Fleet on the ice-class patrol ship Ivan Popanin raised the St. Andrews flag. He has already joined the Russian Federation and protects our borders and peace in the Arctic.
Ivan has the ability to solve problems like combat. So the special tasks of having such ships for the Northern Fleet is a real necessity and need.
Ivan Popanin, strong and formidable, can reach a speed of up to 18 knots, do not enter ports for 70 days, built a ship at the Admiralty shipyards. In the design, complex technical solutions have been introduced, which have no analogues in the world shipbuilding. According to the military, the ships of this project will form the basis of the grouping of surface forces in the Russian north. Northern Shipyard is preparing for global transformation. The area of the plant will grow to 100 hectares. Production efficiency will also increase, according to experts, 16 times.
There will be new stable places, slipway places. This means the boathouse. 100 meters tall with loaded drums weighing 900 tons each alongside the planned approach. A major enterprise for large tonnage shipbuilding and modular ship construction.
Now, at the berths, shipbuilders complete the construction of 6 vessels for fishing companies. Each trawler is actually a floating processing plant for cod, halibut and catfish.
A full-fledged fish factory that catches, processes, manufactures fish products. This fillet is a large fish frozen. It's fish meal and canned food.
The era of construction of fishing vessels for the Northern Shipyard is coming to an end after a global modernization. The plant will build a unique for Russia gas carrier. One should appear by 2034. Length 299 width 47 in a crew of 38 people. Capable of transporting 170,000 cubic meters of gas, the ship's hull consists of specialized modules engineered by the Nevsky Design Bureau.
Technologically, this is a fairly complex design. We have worked out several options. One of them is prismatic deposit tanks. There 4 units are provided in this ship, and also provided tanks that are formed by a membrane method within the hull structures of the ship, directly using innovative 2-layer membrane.
The United Shipbuilding Corporation is seriously developing platform shipbuilding. Advanced projects of universal ships of the Volgodon Max class have been developed. Unique parts will be less, which will significantly simplify production.
Versatile cargo vessels of various types can be constructed on a single platform, from dry ground vessels to tankers and container ships. Now the technical design of a dry cargo ship. There is a tanker ready. In principle, we are now collecting a fairly large one. We are trying to put together a fairly large leasing program. If we find the state finds the funds, then we will launch it into a series.
It is at the shipyards of the northern capital that 59 ships and ships of Rosendex production in transport engineering 130% are built for 7 months of this year. In many ways, thanks to shipbuilders, the industry is on the rise and is ready to develop further. Moreover, every year, new highly qualified specialists enter the market. They are prepared by St. Petersburg State Maritime Technical University. The university regularly updates its curricula to keep up with the times and launches new ones.
In particular, the training program for shipbuilders engineers in CK, which has been in place for 2 years and which, well, let's say the success of interest programs is that they have a fairly high share of practical training, and students acquire practical skills of practically competence by working directly in enterprises.
At the same time, the campus has multifunctional laboratories and even its own production workshops. The university is one of the world leaders in the development of additive technologies. The university manufactures complex multi-component parts for the transport sector, aviation, nuclear power, space industry, and of course for shipbuilding. Students, graduate students and teachers are involved in the creation of cruise ships and even unmanned trucks. They undergo testing at a university in Primorsk. In training, students rely on an integrated approach. Even future design engineers take up welding machines in order to understand in practice the technological processes when creating inseparable connections. This approach justifies itself. More than 97% of graduates go to work in shipyards to build the fleet of the future. Vladimir Orekhov, Andrei Perfeliv, Nikita Sokolov and Andrei Romanov, Vesti Petersburg.